Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/PettyRevenge. In today's episode, Diane, private messages are private. Roommate accuses me of losing his cat, I prove him wrong and get a free month of rent. Family rejects dinner. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Diane, private messages are private. Summer, 2002. Fully 2 decades ago. I'm home for the summer from college, where my parents have cured their empty nest syndrome by filling it with parrots. I do not condone the ownership of pet parrots for a number of reasons. One day my mom approaches me with an expression between a smirk and embarrassment, and almost whispers, "Can you show me the grossest pictures on the whole internet?" Of course I could. This was the age of shock and gross-out sites. Images from Rotten.com and others like it were popular to link to in a bait-and-switch the way people rickroll each other now. But I had to know why first. She was a very active member on a BB code message board dedicated to parrots, their care, cute parrot pictures, etc. Another middle-aged woman, Diane, was the creator/admin/sole moderator. She often abused this power. If someone recommended an avian vet that Diane didn't like, or a different training system than the one Diane swore by, or the wrong brand of food, there was no rebuttal. The offending post or comment was deleted and the poster suspended for a couple days if they asked why or reposted. Of course the members took the discussions elsewhere, either ICQ/IM chat, user profiles could include their handles, or private messages. Diane first stripped user profiles of outside contact info, then made public posts admonishing users for things she only could have known by reading PMs. She even outed a member as going through a messy divorce based on what she'd read in PMs, but adamantly denied that she'd spied on anyone when confronted. Oh, they posted that but removed the comment. They said that in an ICQ chat that I'm in. If Diane wasn't spying on PMs, she'd have no reason to be offended if my mom and other power users started PMing each other gross pictures. My mom called/messaged the people whose personal contact info she had, warned them what was coming, and got permission. Mom looked at the options I offered, goats, lemon party, blue waffle, etc., with much squirming and "OMG why?" She settled on tubgirl.jpg, a photo of a Japanese woman in an empty bathtub lying back on her shoulders, holding on to her feet with her butt up in the air, spraying a fountain of orange diarrhea up in an arc and splashing down onto her own face. Mom added bold text across the bottom reading, "Diane, private messages are private." Suddenly there were middle-aged and elderly women in Florida, California, Indiana, the UK, and elsewhere all sending each other tubgirl.jpg with this message to Diane, then calling each other to giggle about it and imagine Diane's reaction. Diane banned them all. In doing so, she committed forum suicide. The most prolific posters and advice givers were all banned, she wouldn't provide any explanation to the remaining members, and everyone migrated away to a new forum that had suddenly become active. The admins of this new parrot forum were my mom and 2 of her friends from the Tubgirl Rebellion. Roommate accuses me of losing his cat, I prove him wrong and get a free month of rent. This happened pretty recently. I, 26M, just moved into a place with a friend-turned-roommate, Kyle, 29M. I had finally saved up enough to move out to my own place and Kyle's lease was going to be up soon at his current apartment, so we agreed to move in together. After a few months of looking for a place we could afford, we found a decent duplex. Now, I moved in a couple of weeks before he did since I had less stuff to move, and he still had another month on his lease to fulfill. I got most of my stuff into the point where I could comfortably live in it, but I still had stuff to move, even now I do, but that's not important. Kyle had a lot more to move, which makes sense, and he was also bringing his cat. His cats lived in an apartment with Kyle all her life, so moving into a place with access to the outdoors on top of a completely new town must have been quite a shock for her. The weekend they moved in, we spent a good few hours moving in a lot of the big stuff, furniture, bed, electronics, etc., while I was keeping a very close eye on the cat since I was worried she would try to escape somehow. Kyle reassured me that she would be fine since she's never tried to run on him. Having lived with a couple of cats prior to moving, cats which love to be outside, I was a little skeptical, but I figured he knows his cat better than I do, so I just went with it. After helping him move in his first couple of waves of stuff, I had to go visit my mom and sister for a while since I was helping them with some other stuff. About an hour later, I get a call from Kyle, who sounds absolutely hysterical on the phone, saying that the cat got out. I was surprised and also confused because he was pretty adamant about how good she was about that. He followed it up with, "Now I don't want to point fingers because that won't solve anything, but there is a possibility that you might have left the door open." I know he was trying really hard not to use the words, "You did it," but that hurt nonetheless. Because I left before him and his friends were done moving stuff in. He had no concrete proof that I was the one who did it, or even any reason to suspect that I would have been the one to do it. He said he never saw the cat leave. Out of everyone there, I was the most cautious about her leaving, even suggesting locking her in a bedroom for a while until we were done moving stuff in. So after hearing him, understandably, wail on the phone for 10 minutes, he asked me to print some flyers for a lost cat. I didn't have any way of doing it at that moment, so I was going to wait until I got back home. The whole time, I tried calling him to tell him to leave her litter box outside, leave some food outside, etc. When I got home, I see at least 8 different pieces of plastic covered with wet cat food in front of the house, plus her litter box on the steps, and still no sign of her. I know that the cat needed some time to adjust to a new neighborhood and environment, but I thought that was a little odd. A minute later, I was bringing in some stuff I got from my mom's place to the basement. For some reason, I remembered that my cats used to love to hide in the strangest places in the basement and I would always spend a good hour or so looking for them. So I decided to take a look around the basement quick. A minute later, I find the cat curled up underneath the basement steps, looking stressed and disgruntled. I called Kyle up a minute later so that I could tell him the good news. When I called him, he was still sounding like an absolute train wreck, and apparently, he went so far as to tell everyone within a 4-house vicinity to keep an eye out for his cat, including some random people at a park. Kyle means well, but he's one of those guys you expect to see a story about on r/stories about Kevin someday. And then he said, I had to spread the word somehow after somebody let my cat out. Staring the cat right in the face, I asked, "Are you sure you checked everywhere, Kyle?" "Yeah. I will literally bet you a month's worth of rent that she's not in that house." "You're that confident, huh?" "Yeah." Petty revenge activated. Now this was kind of mean since I was terrorizing a distraught pet owner, but he pissed me off a bit when he accused me of losing his cat with no proof whatsoever, so I decided to follow it up with, "You're on." A few seconds later, I found her. "How would you like to pay for that?" "What?" "Cat's name was under the basement steps, dumb shit. She was never lost." Man, the reaction he had when I told him that was a mix of relief, happiness, and then irritation when he just realized he got hustled a month's worth of rent. Nevertheless, he doesn't hold a grudge against me for it. Though since then, whenever he's asked where the cat is, I always say, "Did you check the basement steps?" Family rejects dinner. My being estranged from my brother-in-law has been hard on my mother-in-law and father-in-law and their close-knit, enmeshed, family. Even though MIL and FIL took sides, refused to hold brother-in-law accountable for his actions, and because of that, they are partially to blame for this estrangement. So MIL decided to do a family dinner to celebrate FIL's birthday with just their kids. Apparently it went so well that FIL wanted to replicate it for MIL's birthday. Husband thinks it's stupid, but feels he would get too much crap if he skipped it. So, that same night, I'm inviting all the family rejects, aka spouses and their kids, over for swimming and pizza. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.